On the first day of Christmas, Jesus gave to me some new eyes. Now I can finally see.
Don't try to come for me when nobody sent for you, nigga. This not what you want from me.
I ain't never had to borrow. I spend like no tomorrow. Won't catch me in the daytime, cause it be low-key at the night show. I got that weight, I been in the gym, and now I could really flex.
Y'all, I am so excited about my glasses. What up, faithful gang? What's good? What's goody? What's goody, mob?
Okay.
I am so excited about my glasses because I can see. I can see. Like, the rain is gone, baby. I really wanted to do this story time with my glasses on, okay? Because I'm feeling janky-ish. It's the glare for me. Baby, it's the ring light in the lens for me. It's the ring light in the lens for me. So, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas trees. I mean, I ain't getting monetized, no way. I don't want to promote smoking on my channel, but like, baby, I'm finna get to the kite and I'm gonna tell you the story time. In the bag, you might see, you know, tree smoke flying around. It's Christmas. Now, I don't really celebrate Christmas. I don't even want to say like I don't really. My mom, we stopped celebrating Christmas when I was 15 years old. Like, we was that poor. My mom was like, I can't afford this. We're not celebrating Christmas anymore. I don't even see what the point of this is. And after she pointed it out, everybody was like, oh, okay, we cool with it. We don't got to celebrate Christmas. So growing up, I do not celebrate Christmas with my children. I have personal beliefs in the Bible that talks about fastening a tree in your house. I'm jumping on the cloud wagon. Like, I'm jumping on the Christmas cloud wagon, okay? I'm finna jump on the Christmas cloud wagon. Shout out to K-Shine. I'm gonna go ahead, shout out, you know what I'm saying, my favorite YouTuber, Life with Simone. Definitely holding it down for the story times right now. Like, every day I wake up and I'm watching their story times, and like, after they story times be entertaining and then they go away, like, you look for other story times and almost everybody else's story times are a lot alike. I was like, I am so interested. I have so many good stories, and I was like, why don't I just participate in the 10 stories of Christmas time? So right now, K-Shine is doing basically one video a day for 25 days, like Vlogmas, but with the story miss. And so I really want to do that. Before I even seen that she was doing it, I wanted to do it, but I just knew I could not be that committed. And then my girl, you know what I'm saying, Life with Simone, she then hopped up and she got the week of story time. So I was like, you know what? It was the 15th. And I was like, 10 days till Christmas. Like, that's a thing, I believe that's a thing. I know they be having them little sayings and stuff. But I was like, okay, well, why don't I do 10 stories till Christmas? And my first mind is like, Faith, you work late as hell tonight. And then when you get off, you're going to, go edit some videos after you make it? Like, you know how long that's going to be? The story's not even going to be up for the 10th day. So I was like, okay, either I'm gonna get the story out on the 10th day, or I'm gonna bang it out. And come Christmas, okay, I'm gonna hit y'all with 2 bangers. And the last 2 stories, like, the last story involves celebrities. Just make sure y'all is here for the 10th story. I wanted to just hop right off the porch and come back because my last story time, which was First Day Pistol Play, if y'all have not seen that story time, please go watch it. Big thanks to Big Job for sharing it. It really started doing numbers. It was a really interesting story and people really liked it. And so I was like, okay, people really like that First Day Pistol Play story. They're gonna like the story about the time the SWAT team came. So I have been waiting. Like, the next story time I do is about to be the story about how the SWAT team came. But when I wrote down all my stories, I was like, you know what? That I need to make these stories in order so they can kind of make sense. This story today is going to be the most, I feel like, the most boring story, but it's one of the most relevant because it kind of sets up the scene for basically, like, I don't know how I came up, how I was raised. Like, is y'all see. The title of this story is called I Got Grounded Forever. And y'all, I got grounded forever. Like, I used to be doing the most, and this story takes place in middle school. So first I gotta tell you the story about how I got grounded forever. Then I'm gonna tell you about the story about how I got dragged out the party. And then I'm gonna tell you the story about how the SWAT team came. Because this story that I'm about to tell you now is a story about me when I was in middle school. So I don't want to go tell you a story about something that happened in high school and then come back and tell you some middle school stories. Mind you, this is a have story. Because let's not, when I'm sitting down, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, this angle is not doing me no justice of how cute your girl like really is today. Like, first of all, let's get into the, okay, because the girl is cute.
Let's get into it.
So I don't know why the hell or how the hell I got so bad, but I was a really bad kid. I used to be acting the hell up. It all started in 6th grade. The first event that I remember when Apple first made laptops and they had those different color laptops. Our school had got those, and I was so excited because my cousin had already had an Apple. It wasn't a laptop, but she had like a different color Apple computer. So a bunch of people had never used an Apple before, and I was like, oh, I know about these. I know how to use the internet, because everybody didn't know how to use the internet. I was like one of the only kids that knew how to use the internet, because my cousin them used to have internet, not because we had it. Because on the weekends when I was at my cousin's house, you know what I'm saying, we used to be thegrudge.com. Do y'all remember The Grudge? Do anybody remember The Grudge? That was a terrible website. That was a website where you could go and see death. You could go, I think that you could see bodies, and I don't know if I've seen any, but you could definitely see like dead animals and stuff. And my cousin, she was going through like an emo phase. So she used to like to go and take walks in the rain or in the gloom and go on thegrudge.com. I used to be on blackplanet.com. Okay, I used to be on blackplanet.com. I used to remember I couldn't wait to get to their house so I get on Black Planet. That's the only website I remember I used to be on. I always used to be looking for my long lost brother. I knew how to search the internet because I had been searching the internet for a while. So they rolled in these computers and they like, we got laptops, guys. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And people are like, how do we use them? And I'm like, oh, I know exactly how to use them. So we were doing a project on bottle rocket. Actually, now that I think about it, he was a teacher that smoked, because every time the marker was out, he would say it was cached. And it wasn't until we got older that we was like, bro, I don't even remember. We're going to call him Mr. Ryan. Since Mr. Ryan is a villain in this story, I'm going to give him a fake name. Everybody else, I'm saying their name if I can remember it. So I'm like, oh yeah, y'all, it's easy. It's easy to use the internet. And so we had to look up how to make a bottle rocket. I guess we were going to make one at the end of the week, and we had to do research. So I'm like, I'm always looking up my brother. I know how to do research. I got us, right? So I'm like, we just about to go into the web browser and type in www.bottlerockets.com. I don't know what the hell it is now or what happens when you type that in now. But what year was that? 99 to 2000? You type in bottlerockets.com. And you know, when the internet first started, when you would type things in a web browser, now you could type things in a web browser and it won't just guess. See, because predictive text been around, and when you would type something wrong into the internet, they would pull up what they thought you probably was looking for. Now, I done told the 6th grade class to open up their new laptops and type in bottlerockets.com. It went to blowmelive.com. Blowmelive.com. Y'all hear me? It went to blowmelive.com. So I'm still waiting to get my laptop. Other kids are typing in www.bottlerocket.com. It's taking them to what I told y'all it was taken to them. Ow! And people are being like, oh my gosh. Like the whole class started being like, what? So we like, what? So he give us our laptop and then he go to them. So he over there looking at their laptop and I'm typing it in over there. And at the same time, as it's reverting to what it did, me and him looking up and he's seeing what the other kids are seeing and I'm seeing what he's seeing. And I'm like, he get the maddest face on his face and he come over to me and he really played it like as if I knew what I was doing and he tried to get me in trouble. He like made it this whole big old thing. I had to talk to him and I feel like I had to went to the office about it and I had to really plead my case and be like, I really did not know that this was gonna do this. I had no idea. I would have never told everybody to do that. They saw what it went to before I did, so I didn't know what it was. And he was really mad because he couldn't get me in trouble. So I feel like for the rest of the year, he just used to always, be on me. It was me, this boy named Matt Stabley. Matt Stabley was a little white boy, a little short white boy. He was like shorter than me. And I was probably like, I feel like I was like 5 feet, 4'9" or 5 feet in the 6th grade. And then there was Hamza. Hamza was like an Indian boy. Fine as F. Like, where is Hamza at? I always be trying to find his page too. Like, I would just love to see what he looked like now. Like, Hamza was so fine when he was younger. Saying he had like ear piercing, because they be down with that. Like, where's Hamza at, y'all? Where's Hamza? Somebody tell me where Hamza is. Hamza was like bad too, but I feel like Matt was bad as hell. And then I was more like funny as hell, bad as hell, getting in trouble with disruption. And then Hamza was like kind of in the middle, like he would just do sneaky shit. Hamza was like riding the fence about if he wanted to be a clown or not. And then I was just open with it. So it used to be more funnier because I could get the whole class turned up. So they used to be gassing me up all the time to do shit. I was thinking of ideas I could tell you guys in a story, like different things I could tell you that led up, because it was a lot of other stuff because I was just clowning every day. But these are just some of the things that I could remember that probably led up to this. So it was like this bullying scandal where it was this girl, because like when I was younger, my granny used to take us to this church. And I always loved going to church because after church, I really used to feel what they used to be saying, like from a young age. I feel like I had a duty to share God. I always felt that duty on me when I went to church. I always understood what the pastor was saying from a young age. I never wanted to go to the kids' sermon. I always wanted to stay with the adults and I could just understand what they were talking about. So I remember this was like one Sunday after I had come from church and I was on like my little spiritual high or my trying, and we were on this class field trip. I'm going to share my faith by just being like, okay, let's all pray over our food. So we was in the cafeteria, everybody. I feel like even we went around and like told the whole everybody, like we finna pray. And so everybody was down with it except this one girl. She was like,
I'm not praying because I don't believe in God.
And I was like, what? Now that I'm older, I have realized that God is big enough that he don't need me to take up for him. I still get offended when people disrespect him, but it is what it is. I don't be going to the extremities that I used to go. I was like, what you mean you don't believe in God? What you believe in then if you don't believe in God? She's like,
I believe in evolution. I believe that we all evolved from apes.
I just always been quick on my toes. Like, I don't know why or how fast this came to me. The girl had super hairy arms, which, I mean, now that I'm older, probably because she was shaving from a young age, because I never grew hair until I started shaving. So, yeah, I mean, my arms probably hairy. I mean, my arms ain't, as hairy as hers was, but my shit hairy as fuck right now, okay? I need a little extra hair in this winter. whole time. Ours was like mine's ×2. And I was like, I bet you do believe in evolution with your hairy ass. A part of me hate myself for what I did to her because the whole cafeteria, like everybody just went up in an uproar. The whole camp just started rolling. Now that I look back on it, she was probably so embarrassed. Are you not embarrassed? Embarrassing. I didn't even mean, and I didn't even know everybody in the whole cafeteria heard it either. I didn't realize it. I was a jerky little kid. I was like 12 years old. How was I supposed to know? I finally found that girl recently because I looked for her forever because I just wanted to apologize to her. And she did not accept my friend request. She did not say she accepted my apology. I just hate knowing that, you know, if y'all see bullying, like, stand up. Somebody needs to stand up. Y'all got to stand up for people. You cannot just sit there and let somebody get bullied for no reason, you know. Mind you, it wasn't nothing nobody was gonna do to me.
Who gonna check me, boo? I have.
Anyway.
Are you okay?
No.
Maybe somebody could have put an idea in my head, said, stop messing with that girl, you know? That girl could wanna off herself, or that girl could be going through anything in life. Like, now that you're older, kids are so mean, but kids have no idea what other kids are going through in their life. Like, bullying is so bad. That was something where they tried to talk to me about it. You know, that was something else that happened. There was this teacher named Mr. Mosak. Yep, that's his name. That's his name. Somebody actually sent me a screenshot of his Facebook. I'm like, wow, Mr. Mosak got a Facebook. Like, Mr. Mosak was an old dude when I was young. Mr. Mosak was the type of teacher that used to get off topic real easy if you talked about subjects that he liked. So I used to see the subjects that he liked and I'll just start talking about those things and, you know, politics, sports, you know, stuff like that. And get him off topic, and then that would waste time in the class, and everybody loved it because his class was always like the harder classes or the ones that was the most boring, like math, or which, that, mind you, I remember I got kicked out of his class before, like, and moved to another math class because we got into it. He was a teacher that you couldn't avoid because he taught certain subjects. So I remember I just didn't have him for as many classes at one point, probably toward after 8th grade. He probably was tired of me. I was tired of him. And you know what I'm saying? I was just getting badder and badder. You know, I just used to rile him up all the time. And then, so it was that as well. So that's another thing. You know, me and him used to always get into it. They used to gas me up to get him because everybody used to love when he used to yell, baloney, 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 baloney. And he had like a little, his chin was like this, so it'll like shake a little bit when he'll get mad. Baloney. He used to be so mad, but I loved him. I really loved him, but I gave Mr. Mosak a little bit of heck. I gave him a little bit of heck, but he liked me too. He saw the potential. Mr. Mosak, I think about Mr. Mosak all the time because he was the first person who called me a comedian. Now that I look back on it, because he used to always yell, baloney, and we got a comedian, eh? He used to always be like, oh, so we got a comedian. And I never picked up on that. Like, I never really understood what a comedian was at that time. So I didn't understand what a comedian was at that time, so I didn't know. But, you know, like, Mr. Mosak helped speak this into existence. So, Mr. Mosak, I seen you on Facebook, and I don't know if you still around, but if you are, God bless you for still having all these years. Thank you for speaking that into existence, okay? That I would not just be no bad child or no slow bad child, that I would be a comedian. Like, that's what I was. That's actually what I was. I didn't know. I was a comedian, and I had a class full of audience. How did they expect me to control myself? Always do is like trip people. I used to love tripping people, and I used to remember, like, there was this one time, like, where I tripped this boy, and he was so tall, and he was like you know, he was just bouncing, going to turn his A+ in. Sitting over here like, I wasn't hating or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I had probably like because I never used to study or anything like that. And so I'm over here looking at my test like, damn, this man finished. And he hopping past. And I just love tripping people. I just loved it because I just loved it. Like, he used to make the whole class go up and roar, first of all. Like, everybody loved seeing somebody trip. Why not be the tripper? And I stick my foot out. And this man tripped. This man flew. I'm talking. We should have nicknamed that man Frontier. I done tripped the shit out of Frontier. But thank God he didn't hurt himself, because he could have really hurt himself. But the teacher's desk caught his fault. He was basically falling with like his test with the test in his hand. Like, fell into the teacher's desk. So he was cool. And looking back, it's not really funny. It was really dangerous, but I used to be tripping the shit out of my teachers. And the teachers was tired of me. This was from the 6th to the 7th grade. Because by the time I got to 8th grade, I was like, I'm not finna play with y'all. So they thought they was about to hold me back. We all sitting in the lunchroom. This boy, shout out to that boy. Shout out to my homie. We're gonna name him Robbie. That's closest to his name. Everybody who know. I love you, Robbie. We still cool. But Robbie had tried me and I had tried Robbie, okay, that day, because they was trying Robbie. Robbie was a cool dude, and it's crazy how big Robbie is now, because Robbie was so small when we was younger. We was like the same height. I haven't seen him in so long, but yeah, he's definitely a big guy now. So Robbie then bought a cookie, put it on the table, turned around that fast. They done took Robbie's cookie. They trying Robbie, they playing with Robbie, and Robbie been being played with. Robbie tired of being played with. So Robbie got an attitude today. Now Robbie mad as hell. Like,
who took my cookie? Who took my cookie?
All of a sudden, he looking at me and he talking shit to me like I took his shit. Boy, what is you talking about? What is you talking about? I took your cookie. I ain't take shit. I've been sitting here. I look down, the cookie sitting right in front of me. They done sat up here, took his cookie, passed it under the table, passed it, sat the cookie in front of me, and made it look like I took the cookie. This nigga muffed me out my chair. This nigga muffed my shit. This is a muff, if y'all don't know. If y'all don't know, this is a muff. When you in Chicago, a muff, they be calling it other stuff, but it don't even sound right. Like, no, a muff. You know what I'm saying? A muff is one of them. You know, this is a muff. That's a muff. What do y'all call it? Comment, what do y'all call that in y'all city? What do y'all call a muff in y'all city? Because everybody got their own thing. I think the best word is a muff. I hate when I hear other people call it something and it'd be like, even if I wasn't from Chicago, I would still want to call it a muff, because, you know what I'm saying? Needless to say, this nigga muffed the shit out of me, right? Now, it's different kind of muffs, right? Now, it's like muffs when your girlfriend muffing you like, oh, you know, what you doing? I don't muff niggas, because fuck that. I don't need to put my hands on a nigga, but you know what I'm saying? It's those muffs, you know, or when like when a nigga trying you and they, you know what I'm saying? They not doing too much. And then you got like that, you know. And then you got the super muff, okay? The super muff is when you muff motherfucker with your palm, all right? When you, okay? So this nigga muffed me so hard, right? He muffed me so hard I was coming up out of my chair. When I came up out the chair, stole this nigga twice fast as fuck. I feel like I stole this nigga more than twice, but I do remember the combo. Now, I know for a fact I stole this nigga more than twice, because I don't know how. I guess after I stole him twice, I was a little bit disoriented, but I don't know what the fuck. Because, you know what I'm saying, when Robbie see this, I don't want him to be like, no, I wasn't. I remember that. Yeah, because he talking about them punches didn't even hurt. Like, later on, he was saying the shit didn't hurt. But no, the shit hurt, because I know the shit hurt because after that, after I stole him twice, I just remember the shit was broke up, and then some teacher had us taking us to the office. So when you go out the cafeteria, you go up the stairwell, you go up another set of stairs, and then you come out here, and now you over back by the front office. So they taking us to go see the principal, and while we in the going to see the principal, he talking shit like,
Bitch, fuck you, you lucky you a girl. You lucky you a girl, bitch.
we was in like 6th, 7th grade, so yeah, we used to curse a little bit, but we didn't really used to curse like that. Like, I ain't never seen Robbie turn the fuck up like that. Like, Robbie be quiet, them niggas was trying him, and then he end up muffing, and we end up fighting. So I stole this nigga a few more times, and as we walking up the stairs, I'm steady punching this nigga, trying to hit him around the teacher steady trying to break it up. I'm steady getting to him, getting licks in, sneaking this nigga and shit. This nigga done had enough of me. He turned around. I feel like the nigga stole me back. Nigga pushed the fuck out of me and started being like,
Bitch, you lucky you a fucking girl. You lucky you a fucking girl.
he just started going crazy as hell. So by this time, you know, they didn't got us through the doors or whatever. It's a whole big ass thing. My mama had to come to the school. Basically, from 6th grade up to now, you know, they tired of me. They like, she done did all of this, but because I didn't steal the cookie and then I got muffed first, they couldn't do nothing to me but suspend me. They couldn't do nothing but suspend me. So that's what they end up having to do. And they suspended me on the contentions of I'll never get in trouble again, because if I do, I'm
getting expelled.
I'm doing good for a really long time. Probably went to church a few times with my grandma, and you know what I'm saying, was doing good, but there came a time when I decided to do bad again. We in Miss Wilkie class. Miss Wilkie. We in Miss Wilkie class. She got a whole bunch of tables, but for some reason I sat at the back table. But it was no desk for me in her class, but there was this circle table, which I was cool with. I had me a big old table as a desk, you know, and I was all the way in the back of the class, so I wasn't paying attention no way. I didn't need to be in the front. I think probably that's why she like, you don't. I feel like Ms. Wilkie was prejudging me because she heard about me, and they probably obviously talked about me in the lounge. So by this time, this is my first time in her class, so she already prejudged me. She know I ain't paying attention anyway. The word around the street is I don't do my homework. It's only one teacher that made me feel like she cared. So I used to try to do my homework in her class, as hard as it is, because it was a math class too. But I used to try, and I used to get all my answers wrong. She used to thank me for trying. I wish I could remember her name. It was a little old lady. Miss Olsen, the librarian. I done thought of another story. I hope I'm not gonna have to make this a part 2, because Miss Olsen, the librarian. So she was my math teacher too. We and her used to always get into it because she was my librarian. Okay, so now I'm starting to remember so much, all the stuff I did to lead up to this. I'm like, that's why y'all need a savior, because when you get to heaven and all your whole life start replaying, it's gonna be so much stuff that you did not remember. You're gonna need a savior. That's why I love the Lord. Thank you for interceding, for real, because them guest witnesses in heaven gonna be popping out like,
Miss Olsen. It's Miss Olsen.
Miss Olsen try to get me in trouble, because Miss Olsen, my favorite song used to be, do you wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy and chop it up with do or die? Oh, do you wanna ride with me? Oh,
Okay.
and then I used to be,
Sitting on a quarter pier, hey, things is feeling good today. I'm told what from the flow up. Sipping on some Crown Royal tripping. When it's time to move, everybody got their own bucket away. How you feel today, Fablo and Dandy? Seems like I'm hype off candy. Got a big thick chick named Sandy. In a barn, in the middle barn, where everybody's feeling crazy. I went to visit Granny house. I see why don't nobody leave. We constantly.
Yeah, get into it.
for the real ones that know that song. And if you a real one, you was ganging it on your part. I used to love them songs and couldn't nobody stop me from singing them. Nowhere. And I used to also have this thing where if it was just too quiet, like I just had to make some noise. So it wasn't like I would be disruptive the whole time in the library. But at some point, like I was, oh, do you want to ride me? She said it was no do or die in her library. Bitch, what the fuck? I'm like, baby, are you racist? Huh? No do or die in the library. Now that I'm older, Miss Olsen had a life before she was an old librarian. Even though I used to distract in the library, she saw something in me, just like Miss Demosak, and they didn't just completely hate me. And Miss Olsen made me feel like she cared if I didn't do my homework, like she was disappointed. So I actually used to do my homework in her class. So, you know, when they would talk about me in certain classes and I would hear teachers being like, I heard you be doing your homework in Miss Olsen class. Like, what? Who told you that? Who snitching? I didn't bully all the teachers. I only bullied teachers that I felt like was messing with me too. Miss Olsen tried to get me in trouble for that. She tried to get me in trouble, but she couldn't. She couldn't get me in trouble for that. Now I'm in Miss Wilkie class. I'm in the back of Miss Wilkie class. We back to this story. I'm in the back of Miss Wilkie class. Miss Wilkie starts leaving class for a really long time. I don't know what she doing. I'm getting bored. Like I already wasn't about to pay attention to whatever you was talking, but at least when you was in front of the class, at least you was distracting me from doing things. I don't know why, I just felt like I need to find something to do. So they had just installed phones in the class, so I started making prank calls. And then I started prank calling the police. Like at first, I was prank calling the office, pressing different extensions. Then I started calling police, and I don't know why I thought, and I feel like I told the kids, like, y'all ain't finna say nothing, are y'all? Because they thought it was so funny. They like, no, like, ain't nobody finna snitch. Nobody finna say nothing. And I don't know why I didn't realize that they was gonna call back. They ended up calling back. And Miss Wilkie come to class like, the police are calling and saying that they're getting a call from my class. So I'm like, what, Miss Wilkie? What, nobody up in here calling no police? We don't do police in here. Why? Who called the police? Everybody like, nobody called the police. That wasn't here. Miss Wilkie was so confused. She was going back and forth to the office. Like, they're like saying nobody did it. She had a snitch in her class. She called somebody out the class, and then she called me out the class. And I had to go to the office and give account for why I was prank calling the police. And I couldn't go on a field trip the next day. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm still turning up. So because I couldn't go to the field trip, it was other kids that couldn't go to the field trip too. So we had to stay in school. I feel like at this point, they just knew that I wanted to be suspended, so they stopped suspending me too. Like, they did that to me in high school too. When they caught on, they like, she just want to be suspended, y'all. She don't want to be here. So in school, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to miss my in school. And if you miss your in school, then you get it out of school. They start being like, nah, you going to have this in school whenever you come back. So I already had an attitude, right? And I was already tired of Hamza and Matt. Matt was doing his little bad thing. Matt already had his thing, whatever. He was doing his little bad thing in class. But Hamza was trying to hype me to get involved in it too. And I was like this day, I was just not feeling it. So like one of them had said something to me, and I told them like, leave me alone. Because at some point I realized, y'all steady trying to gas me up, but then I'm the one getting suspended. Not like I was cared about the work, because now I'm thinking like, I'm the one that's missing my work and not learning. Like,
I don't get fucked by none of that shit. By none of that shit.
It was just the fact that I was the one getting suspended and getting in trouble, and they wasn't. All this time that I've been getting suspended and getting in trouble, I still been allowed to go outside. And even when my mama decides she gonna put me on punishment, it'd be like for a day or two. Ask her like a couple days later, or have my friends come over, they ask her, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at?
We back outside, man. We outside. They had already had to talk with her, like, if she do anything else, she finna get expelled. Then I called the police. So they already, I wasn't like expelled, but I feel like they was building their case. They in the class, they trying to hype me up, and I'm like, not today. Not today. You know, I'm telling them not today. The teacher yelling at them, and they yelling back. Like Matt and Mr. Ryan is going at it. Matt and Mr. Ryan is going at it. Matt was like me. But like if the teacher say anything to us, like we'll turn up on them too. So Matt and Mr. Ryan going back and forth, and Hamza trying to get me to get into it too. And I'm telling him like, nah, I ain't on that. And he's like, no, ain't no talking. Right? Like Mr. Ryan yells that. So like Hamza says something else to me, and I said something else back like, no. Whatever he was doing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to gas it. I'm like, no. Mr. Ryan look at me like,
I told you no talking.
I'm like, I wasn't the one talking. They were.
You talking now? I told you what.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? And then I got kicked out of his class. And then when I got kicked out of his class, he gonna bring a write-up and was trying to get me to sign it. And I was like, I'm not signing that. I'm not signing that. I'm not signing that. I'm not signing that. I'm not signing that write-up. Like, no. My mama been told me you don't never sign no write-up. He ain't have my signature on it. So now we was finna have to plead our case back and forth. We plead our little case back and forth to the principal. I get home. My mom's on the phone. I also feel like it was one of them things where you quit before you get fired. Like my mama knew they was about to try to expel me. And my mama was like, not my daughter. She is not one of them. Y'all already know how my mama is. Since y'all got such a problem with her, she won't be coming back. How about I just keep her at home then, since y'all got such a problem? Click. That's what I'm talking about, mama. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, mama. You should have been told them I wasn't coming back. Tired of getting suspended and trying to do this on my own. So she like, yeah, you're in trouble. So of course I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not in trouble for real. Like that was when that song came out. Give me super. I need super. Stomping in my Force One. Hey, get the stomping in my Air Force Ones. Hey, yeah. Me super. Look, me twerking. It ain't even a twerk song. Niggas talking about stomping the Air Force One. Girl find a way to shake her ass to anything. Sad the times we live in. I had wanted some Air Force Ones so bad. My mom, she was not the type to buy no expensive shoes. My mom would buy some expensive shoes, and I used to keep those shoes. Like, literally, that's why I think I said in another video about how shoe cleaning was my first hustle, because I used to clean my own shoes all the time because I knew my mama was a single mother. Because I kept my shoes clean and stuff like that. Like, people would just think I had so many shoes, but really my feet wasn't growing that much, and I was just keeping my shoes clean. My mama had finally broke down and opened the shoes up like, yep, and I got these for you, and you can't have them. Close them back up. I'm like, oh my gosh, please, mama, please, mama, please, mama.
And I'm finna go stun on.
I need them shoes, mama. Please give me my Air Force Ones, my first pair of Air Force Ones. She did not give them to me right away. I feel like it was Sammy, Bow Wow, and Romeo. One time came to Chicago, and my mom was like, you know, you could go to the concert because I already got you the tickets. She gave me my little Air Force Ones, and I was mad because I wanted the all white ones, and she gonna go get me the ones with the pink bottom. I'm like, and for the longest I was going to school like, yeah, I'm about to be so cute. And my Air Force, yep, I got me some Air Force One, but my mom said I can't wear them because I got to wait for the concert. No, really, she said I couldn't wear them because she was saying, I'm finna take these back. You don't deserve these. I was going to school like, I got the Air Force Ones with the red bottoms because I ain't see them. Because she opened them up and showed them to me, put them back in the box and closed them, and they was hot pink at the bottom. So this whole time I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm going to wear them to the concert. Sure didn't even go with the shoes. Like, didn't even wear them shoes to the concert. After this, my mama like, I'm thinking because I'm at the concert or whatever, like, my mama finna be cool. Like, So after the concert, oh, can I go back to such and such house? She, no, you're on punishment. I'm like, what? We was just...
Romeo, how you do that there? Romeo, how you do that there? Hey, hey.
We was just lit in the concert. What you mean punishment? Like, this punishment feels so good. She's like, no, I already had the tickets, and I wasn't going to do you like that. But you're on punishment. I'm like, for how long? She like, until I say that you're off. Y'all. Now, remember I told you my mom was the type to put me on punishment, but she would never let it last longer than a week. Never. Like 2 weeks at the most. Like, and sometime between that 2 weeks, she had let me go outside at some point. She just wasn't saying yes all the time. Do y'all know this lady put me on punishment forever? Okay, this lady put me on punishment for so long that when I was off punishment, I didn't even go outside no more. Like, when I was finally off punishment, I feel like I was literally on punishment for a year. For a year straight. And I know I said forever, but to a kid who goes outside every day and you don't get to go outside for a year, I feel like it was a year or more. My mom did not let me go outside no more. I was not allowed to go outside no more, to the point where when I was off punishment, I didn't go outside no more either. Like, she used to be asking me, do you want to go outside? And I used to be like, no. And it was just so crazy because it's like, this kid used to live for outside, and now you can't get me to go outside. Like, and I feel like that's what turned me into the homebody that I am today. Because I'll go outside, I'll get lit, I love it. But at the same time, I really love being at my house. I really love being at home. And like, I can just be so busy in the house. Tomorrow's story is going to be the story about how that one time I decided to sneak out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my channel. If you like that video, go ahead and do so physically, please, because I need you to. We on the road to what, 500 subscribers right now. I mean, we on our way to 50K, but you know what I'm saying? Baby steps. Hey, your baby steps are the baby steps that I need. I need you guys to smash that subscribe button. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Also, turn on your bell notifications so you can be the first one with the juice. And y'all better tell all your friends we lit on this channel. You better tell all your friends we lit on this channel. You better tell all your friends we lit on this channel. You better tell all your friends. You better tell them. Tell all your friends what? We lit on this channel. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.